Hi, my name is Christopher, and I'm here to tell a little bit about my experience with the NCR treatment. So far, this is my first series of 4 sessions. I think to begin with, a bit about my background. I have extensive background in performing arts and somatic movement and contact improvisation. So everything from Feldenkrais to Alexander technique to Laban notation to you name it. And basically trying to understand my body and the way it works and the way it's connected through all the different joints and ligaments and tissues and so forth. Because a relaxed body is more able to perform better, basically, and express itself, which is what I'm after. So I was rather surprised with Deanna in the body work, where she would instinctually and intuitively go to points in my body that I wasn't really thinking of, but once her fingers got in there, it was like, wow, that feels like it's zeroed in. And then the other point would just naturally follow somewhere, and then she'd just press into those, and I would just breathe and relax and try and let go. So that's what my NCR treatment has been about, is about letting go. And so a lot of those points were painful for me, and I had emotional releases and memories that surfaced from those points where the meridians and the energy started to flow again, where I was feeling vulnerable, and I just decided to completely give it up, just completely surrender to whatever was happening and keep breathing and relaxing and keep going back to what was happening. Also, along with the emotional release, there were dreams that occurred after the treatments, mostly about my family, but also about my past and my future, and kind of prophetic dreams in a way, and very vivid, very extremely vivid, like wow, vivid color dreams. So after one of the sessions, it felt as though I was reacquainting myself with my body, with my structure, even though I have this very extensive background in performing arts and somatic movement art and content improvisation and yoga and so forth. It was very humbling to feel beginner's mind again, to feel connections to parts of my body that I thought were connected, but were obviously not very connected. So that was very helpful for me. After the sessions, I would go home and ride the bus and just sit and breathe, and sometimes I would read. I did a lot of sleeping, a lot of drinking water. I think that's important. And it seems to me an awful lot of eating. There would be times where I felt like my body was moving spontaneously, shifting a little bit. And in particular, where I had a lot of pain in my sternocleidomastoid muscle in here, most of that's gone, and most of it, I could probably do another series.
And how long had that been going on, by the way?
That was 4 months of chronic pain, and it was getting worse, like going into headaches and traveling up. And then Deanna did a lot of adjusting in the occipital range back here, and I think that's what helped release it. And one day she did do a lot of massaging of the SCM, and I think that's helped a lot. And so there were little tiny adjustments, and then I'll just be quiet in my head, and I'll feel more space in my sinuses, but it feels like in my head there's a little bit more space. And in fact, yesterday I found a little piece of skin that had sort of peeled off or that was peeling off that was not there before. So.
And it was right over a very bony, dense, hard lump in your skull.
It was right over a bony, hard lump that Deanna was working on. So I feel like it was somehow created basically overnight. This piece of like skin tissue that had just, flaked off. It was making room for new growth. I think that's what skin does when it makes new skin. And the scab peels off, and there's new skin underneath. It's more elastic, more flexible. My balance feels way more grounded. Like I could stand on one leg before and do this sort of thing. Just standing on one leg. It feels very natural, very, very solid, really solidly grounded. And in fact, my friend commented on it because I had actually gone to a zazen, and I was taking off my socks standing on one leg.
Oh my gosh.
Which was kind of, and he said, you were standing on one leg taking off your sock, and I said, well, doesn't everyone do that? It just felt so natural. I just lifted up my leg and stood there. I was like, so grounded. It just felt really rooted. Some of what I've been experiencing is, let's see if I can articulate this. It feels like whatever brain cells I had have been become dormant have now become active again, and the pathways to those places are now opened up. Like somehow the NCR treatment uncovered a kind of pathway, these neural pathways. Maybe they even created new neural pathways. I'm not sure, but it feels like I have the ability to think in different ways now, in subtle different ways. Like before, what I would have gone to a direct pattern, it feels like that pattern may have been stable, but it may have led to pain or some kind of conflict. Whereas this other pathway feels less confrontational, more childlike in a way. It feels like something from my youth that I forgot about. When I was a kid, I felt like there was a strong intuitive connection to people and to things. I spent a lot of time in the woods, walking in nature, and I felt like that I could hear things speaking to me as a kid, imagination or whatever. But then as I grew older, I was like, sometimes I could hear or intuitively feel like, or empathically know what someone was thinking or feeling, like a radio station. I would just tune right in, not wanting to all the time. But then somehow over the years that kind of got clouded over and it sort of disappeared in a way. And after the treatments, it feels like that ability or whatever is returning. And I don't know if it's true or not, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to my next series. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm leaning way in. So take it for what it's worth and try and breathe and relax and release as much as you can. That's what my experience is about. Just let it go and allowing the treatment to do whatever it's going to do.